All right, good afternoon, good night, and good morning. I screwed that up. To everyone who may be watching around the world, looking at you, Shane, in Aruba, if you were going to watch. Um, this is the BSR League at Talladega Cup Series. As you can see on your screen, we have the weather for today. Location track length is 2.6 miles long, got 7-mile-per-hour gusts. Uh, 32% precipitation with 77 degrees Fahrenheit. Um, in terms of heat, track temp is 104 degrees Fahrenheit as well. And it's a super speedway race, Colin. What do you got for us?
Well, man, for 93 laps of this race, you are basically trying to find your friends where you can find them, when you can find them. And then for the last lap, it's anything goes, gloves are off. It's going to be an exciting race. Daytona earlier this year to kick off the season. Only 4 drivers finished that race. Trevor Baxter won a hell of a race week one of our BSR season. Going to our second super speedway race of the season. It's going to be a very exciting race.
Yeah, I mean this can be fun. Certainly gonna be seeing a lot of intense racing. If it's anything like the last race we saw, should be an absolute barn burner. I've been excited for this race all year long. Just being able to come out, do this with everybody, watch these guys race, and yeah, yeah. No, this is gonna be this I think is gonna be one of the best races of the whole season.
Yeah, and hopefully it's not much of a wreck session like we had in the first race of the season. I know
Oh, it will be.
first race of the season with every one of these guys, it's a little different, but we've had a couple races under our belt. We know who's fast, who's not, who can hold a pretty wheel, who can't. So these drivers know exactly who to watch out for on the racetrack, and we have an exciting, I don't know, about 250 miles ahead of us. Billy Brickley, your pole sitter, in that Chevy Camaro on the bottom. Shane Paul, P2. Compared Toyota, Chevrolets starting the field. Then we followed by a Toyota of Randy Brasher's and another Chevrolet of Gus Otero.
Yeah, Nick Godsey will bring it up in fifth place with Ed Ryan on his outside in sixth place. Jose Torino will be in seventh place with Joe Francis in eighth. Roger Shelton ninth place. Johnny Mahalchek in 10th. Shane Parrish in 11th. So it looks like he is not in fact in Aruba anymore, which, depending on how you look at it, kind of sucks because Aruba's amazing. I'd love to go one day. We have Alan Duggar, who's going to be bringing it in 12th. Isaac Treason, 13th. Hugh Brown, 14th place. Race Control, otherwise known as Phil Amsden, will be in 15th place. Chris Webb will be in 17th place. Or 16th place, sorry. Chris Schatzman will be in 18th place. And then we'll have Neil Meadows in 19th place.
Pretty big field for Talladega. We got a couple of new drivers in this week. Very exciting times. The league is growing, and that's what you want to see in iRacing. All these guys getting together, but this is going to be an exciting race, Elliot. We have exciting races coming up. We have Texas. We have Watkins Glen. We have our All-Star race coming up, which is going to be very exciting. So a very fun start to the end of April, beginning of May here in the BSR League as the pace car pulls off pit road, pulls off the racetrack.
Shane Paul gets up close to Billy Brickley, who's going to bring us to green here. Remember, the start-finish line is a bit further than Daytona, so we could see moves in the tri-oval, and it'll matter more. And we are now green? We're green. That was a anticlimactic start as Billy Brickley gets a terrible jump, and Shane Paul will slide down right in front. And he will take first place here on the first lap. We'll see if he leads it. Gus Otero on the high side in that 76 Easy Deal and Wheel and Tires. In that Easy Deal and Wheel and Tires, I believe Ford Mustang. Nope, Toyota Camry. And they're going to bring it down the backstretch. Shane Paul still leading.
Takes a while for these cars to get up the song down the Alabama Green Super Stretch. See Shane Paul getting the lead as we see the top five starting to single file out. That's one of the things about these next-gen cars we were talking about Daytona. The bigger line, you see more guys on the bottom. The bottom line's going to have a lot more energy than the top line. That top line is going to fade, and unless more guys top up from that bottom line, that top line is not going to be where you want to make moves all day long.
Especially early on. I mean, your goal is mostly to save fuel. Your goal is just to kind of survive, save fuel, which is why, personally, I don't like being up front. I like being around third or fourth back in line around this time, just to A, stay out of any trouble in the middle of the pack, and B, just to have enough fuel saving but enough track position as well. I think that's the happy medium. Your third to sixth in line is about the perfect place you want to be in your average A Open or NIS race. So you can see him thunder down the backstretch going into coming out of turn 2. Or coming...
Yeah, I'll be fair.
Not coming out of turn 2, I apologize. Coming out of turn 4 onto the front stretch. Billy Brickley on the outside looking like he's going to try and take a lap to lead here, and he will do it. Billy Brickley out front.
You got to think that the guys who qualified up front had a good setup, good qualifying setup. Is their race setup good enough? We have about 92 laps, and we'll figure that one out. And unfortunately, if you really want to be safe at Talladega, you want to be by yourself. And Phil Amsden, who made a late entry, according to Brandon Sanders, who is the league owner, is currently making his way through the tri-oval here at the virtual Talladega Superspeedway. So I'm pretty sure he'll be safe for the time being, but the pack is quickly approaching him.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one concern with running by yourself. You're going to get lapped if the race goes long enough. There is a chance that the race doesn't go long enough, as we can see that top lane seems to have a bit more energy going into this lap than it did the previous few laps. That top lane really rolling well. Now, unlike Daytona, you could see 3, even 4 wide racing here especially during fuel saving, as we can see Gus Otero getting swallowed up by the pack. We might see a third lane come alive here, or we may just see we may in fact just see a second lane just kind of split off. And yep, there we go. Second lane has split, and got some guys on the top. Ed Ryan making his way up into the first place on the top lane.
Ed Ryan, so far, the biggest mover of the race, up 5 positions from where he started. Obviously, he came to virtual Talladega Superspeedway with a rocket tonight. There's working 89, so 88 laps to go here at Talladega. Certainly can't win it in this early, but he's showing why he has the strong car here tonight.
Well, he certainly does have a strong car, a very fast car. Question is, can you make it last? What you want at Talladega is mostly stability. You want the car to just turn where you want it to go and not have to worry about getting loose, especially on that high lane. That high lane will get loose, especially in the draft, kind of just get out from underneath you. It'll get tight at first, and then you're just kind of struggling for grip almost at times. But if you have the right setup, then you're just really not going to deal with that issue, and you can just drive the car, which I love. I love just having a nice stable car. As Mahalchek and Brickley make contact, and Brickley is now out of line. Otero's going to be on the inside of him, and that top lane just completely loses all energy as Ed Ryan will maintain his lead, followed by Mahalchek, followed by Shane Paul, with Randy Brashears in 4th on the bottom. Otero leading that high lane.
Now, I like Randy. I've seen him race a lot of Super Speedway races. He's always up here towards the front. Mahalchek up 8 spots so far. The biggest mover inside the top 10, followed by Neil Meadows up 9 spots from the beginning of his race. So those are your 2 biggest movers of the race. But Mahalchek looks like he's a little antsy behind the rear bumper of Ed Ryan. As Ed Ryan goes to the top, Mahalchek's looking to take advantage.
He doesn't, though. He's going to
split.
Yep, he's going to he's going to get sent back down the middle, which isn't that big of a problem. You know, you're going to have a lot more chances here at Talladega. You try to make a move, it doesn't work out. It may work out next time. Phil Amsden stuck on the top lane. Looks like everyone's going to go underneath him, and Phil Amsden will go a lap down. Oh, boy.
Upside down!
He's upside down. What?
Jose Torino upside down.
Oh, Torino's upside down. Oh, that's not good.
Joe Francis involved, Jose Torino involved. Both of them have the meatball flag. Torino choosing to tow back to pit road. Obviously,
oh my goodness! Wow, yeah, he was upside down. Certainly, what happened there?
Prayers to Jose Torino, the ghost of Jose Torino.
Yeah, it looks like he has passed away. Go back a little bit. Let's see what
Looks like
exactly
Mahalchuk tried
transpired.
to go low, tried to clear himself, and he did not do that. He just got into the right rear of a
Oh,
left rear of Jose Torino and sent him around.
yeah, Joe Francis and Mahalchek also sustained damage during that wreck. That's unfortunate for all those drivers. I mean, Talladega is a game of any super speedway race is a game of inches, and I mean you're just on a razor's edge at all times. Big wreck there for Jose Torino, and unfortunately, the driver of the number 21 car is likely done for the day. As we come to our first caution here on lap number 7.
Now, the thing about Talladega, unlike Daytona, Elliott, is that you can run your tires for a little bit longer than you think you can. Daytona, Atlanta, those two super speedways have a much tighter turning radius, which means you're really kind of abusing that right front tire over the course of a long run. Talladega is much more of a sweeping corners in turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So you can ride your tires a lot longer than you think you can, but fuel is going to be the number one issue. And I say that, Elliott, are we going to see a pit stop this early? I would say pit for fuel now, because you never know when you're getting another caution.
I agree. I mean, you pit now, you get fuel in your tank now. You figure all that out, and
We
you should be
decided what
honestly
fuel we're
okay.
going to today. Have you decided what fuel company we're going to go with today?
Jeez Louise, on me already.
Have we used Valero yet?
I don't think we've used Valero, but tires is what I am really interested in. We've used Bridgestone. I don't think we've used Pirelli. We haven't used Pirelli, so we're going to use 4 fresh Pirelli tires and full of Valero fuel.
Neil Meadows
Yeah.
decides to stay out. Roger Shelton also staying out. Neil Meadows, that's going to gain him 19 spots on the racetrack. And I know it's a super speedway race, but track position is important with the next gen car, so that obviously helps Neil Meadow. Obviously, he'll be about 9 laps fewer on fuel than everyone else who decided to come out. It looks like Phil Amston decided to stay out. Brickley was your winner off pit road.
Well, yeah, Amson's going to get that wave around, or he'll get that lucky dog, depending on if he made contact. But if he stays out, he gets the wave around. He'll be able to get that lap back that he lost. Christian Coe says Cooper tire. Remind me next week, Christian, and we'll use Cooper tire for next week. And Dana, Christian actually also says, what are you trying to say, Dana? They haven't even said the fabled dirty air yet, so she could slow down on the drinks.
We
yeah,
actually don't have to say it tonight.
We're not going to say dirty air very much tonight. So tonight can
We
just
will
be a
next.
night of relaxed drinking, because there's just, I mean, you're so close, and you're in that we're going to be using the word draft more than anything else. I mean, dirty air really doesn't come into play here as much as it does at a short or intermediate track, because you're running so close together. You're not dealing with that wake as much, nearly as much, and it really just doesn't. The only thing that's really going to affect is really going to affect the aero of the car is the draft effect here. The draft effect is the main issue on why these drivers are going to maybe feel stuck and why they can't move as much.
Fortunately, Joe Francis has DNF'd from the race. That is unfortunate to see, as working lap in 10. Coming to lap 10 of 94 tonight. One caution so far tonight, if you're just joining us. Mahalchek getting into the driver's side quarter panel of Jose Torino, setting him upside down. Joe Francis also involved. Mahalchek still in pit road. He goes a lap down. Chris Webb stayed on pit road a little bit longer. He's now coming through the tri-oval, so he's back up to full strength, hopefully, as we get the restart with 8 laps to go here at Talladega Superspeedway. So far, we're not seeing too much aggressive driving, except for Mahalchek, Elliott. You know, that is sort of the thing with these next-gen cars, and my philosophy in the next-gen car is Superspeedways. You take the runs when you can. Maybe that was Mahalchek's type of thing. In the O'Reilly Series cars, the Truck Series cars, You can sort of stay in line and sort of play with the air, but the next gen car and the drafting package we have here on iRacing, a lot closer to what you see on Sunday when the Cup Series actually goes racing here at Talladega. So these drivers, for me, who runs an O'Reilly series, it's a lot different than super speedway racing that you see in the next gen series.
Well, yeah, of course, there's always that. But personally, I don't think what Mahalchek did was really that aggressive. I think Mahalchek just came down a little too early, misjudged it a little bit. I'm sure he apologized. I mean, it's a game of inches here. I mean, aggressive or not, you're still prone to mistakes. You misjudge something by just a little bit, and you're in trouble. And that was apparent with Johnny Mahalchek. I really don't think he was trying to be aggressive there, though.
Yeah, Jose Torino has DNF. He is done for the day. Johnny Mahalchek was given a penalty for causing that accident. He has been given an end of the line penalty, so he has a fast car. We've seen it so far this race. But he has to come from the back, and he still has enough time to do it. Granted, but he has a lot of fast cars in front of him, and they're not going to make it easy for him.
No, they won't. Then this kind of sucks a lot. I mean, I was really looking forward to seeing Jose Torino come back out here in this race, and we're gonna be on the restart again. I was really hoping, because last league that I was broadcasting, Torino made this crazy last lap or literally in the tri-oval, third place, made a pass for the win. Just an unbelievably awesome race. I loved calling that one. Screaming, I was screaming. I was like extremely just like elated to see that. And unfortunately, he won't repeat today. Which sucks because I messaged him and I was like, "Get ready for Talladega. You better come out there and put on a show for us." But that's the track will giveth and the track will taketh away. Unfortunately.
Speaking of taken away, Roger Shelton started on first, coming to the green flag. He's now back in 12th place. He did not get a good restart on that last time by. Billy Brickley, now your leader with Alan Duggar in tow. Nick Godsey in top P3 as the high line is becoming more dominant as we're seeing about 12 cars jump to the top, with Shane Paul being the first car on the inside line.
That's the way the race goes sometimes. It just happens, just random runs throughout the race. I mean, I think everyone's really going to settle in kind of single file here. No one's really going to jockey too hard for position. And as I'm saying that, we're getting a lot of position changes, a lot of people changing lanes. Shane Paul getting moved up to the top of the racetrack. Jose Torino says, "Good job on the broadcast, boys. We appreciate it, man. Sorry you got wrecked. It happens. You'll get him next Talladega race, though."
I wouldn't be surprised if Jose Torino decides to come back in 2 weeks when BSR goes road racing for the first time this season. We go to Watkins Glen. It's going to be an exciting race because Watkins Glen always a favorite here in the NASCAR Cup Series, especially on iRacing. So wouldn't be too surprised if we talk a lot about Jose Torino in a couple weeks when we head to Watkins Glen.
Oh, I'm excited for Watkins Glen. I mean, I'm not a huge road course fan in NASCAR. I am not a huge road course fan in NASCAR, I'll be honest. I did not really like the Mexico City race. I thought it was a great event, and I thought that it really helped bring more eyes to the sport. But the racing product itself, I didn't enjoy too much. Circuit of the Americas last year was a really good race. This year, not a great race. Sonoma, I grew up in the Bay Area. That was my local track. I've been to a race there. It was awesome. I do not like watching that race on TV. It's just not that fun. I am excited for the Naval Base this year. That should be a fun race. But again, I think it's sort of like I think it's also kind of like a Mexico City race. Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. Who was that? Was that Ed Ryan almost in the wall? That was scary.
It was.
Anyway, as I was saying.
That's the thing about road course racing with this Jection car. If you look at it through the mechanics aspect, it's a Essentially a GT3 car, just a lot heavier, no ABS, no traction control. I
Nope,
guess you
more
can call
power.
it a V8 supercar with a lot less power, but a lot more downforce. And road course racing hasn't been that great with this next gen car, like we thought it would be,
It's been
especially
hit
on
or
the short track.
miss. It's been hit or
I
miss,
mean,
I'll be honest. I think the
yeah,
car
but I mean,
drives better on road courses, but the product itself isn't as entertaining.
I mean, the issue
As
is
like
that
as
you
like it
have.
was like trying to lug those Gen 6 cars just kind of around the getting a little tight there between I believe that's Randy Brashears and Shane Paul. To
I
me,
mean,
it's just not as entertaining as I would like it to be. Like Chicago, the city race or the street race, I'm just not a big fan of it. Turns were too tight. Kind of felt like a conveyor belt.
you
Now,
see Randy Brashear, Shane Paul, and Ed Ryan go 3 wide.
yeah, three wide here, man. I mean, we're gonna see it, and then it's
Oh,
just a
Shane Paul and
ginormous. It's just
Randy
a
Brashear's so close.
ooh. We're getting close here. I mean, you just have 3 wide racing and then a long point in the middle. Get your minds out of the gutter, everybody. It looks like an airplane.
See, and I think what makes racing in the NASCAR Cup Series a little different than what you see in the O'Reilly Series, Truck Series. We still see 2 rows, 3 by 3. What impressive racing by these guys. Shane Paul on the inside, Isaac Treese, 3 wide middle. So does Randy Brashears, 3 wide middle. Now we have 3 rows of 3 wide.
Yeah.
Randy
But back
Brashears to the back.
Yeah. I mean, but back to the point on road courses. I think Watkins Glen has always put on an entertaining product.
Yeah, and I think that racetrack
always.
is slow. Oh,
God, it's yeah. You're getting a little
That's okay.
tight here.
I mean,
But
I think that's just how the racetrack flows. It naturally, you have the high speed.
It's slinging. It's a slinging racetrack. The turns aren't as tight, so you don't slow down as much, and so these cars are able to maintain speed. I think that's the reason why. I don't know. I'm not a aerodynamicist or whatever they call them these days. Whoa, a lot of lane changing. Shelton to the bottom of the racetrack.
But a lot of good things on the schedule coming up. I mean, Watkins Glen a little earlier in the season, and as someone who's experienced time in the Northeast, it's still going to be a little chilly up in May in Upper New York. So that's not going to be as fun. But people are going to have fun. But you know what we do have later this summer, and you're going to agree with this. We get Chicagoland Speedway back.
Oh,
Another
I am so excited.
And testing there happened earlier this week. Xfinity, O'Reilly Series, and the Cup Series are on track at the same time. That's pretty kind of cool to see.
Ooh.
But that track is just worn out from the harsh Midwestern winters. That's going to be an absolutely fun race when we go to Chicago, as the 3 wide racing seems to have died down here at Talladega. The high line has become the most dominant lane, but we've been racing for about 8 laps so far, and you can go about 50 laps of fuel. There's one more stop, I would assume, left on all these guys, except if you're Neil Meadows, Roger Shelton, or Phil Amsden, who unfortunately, looking at my little map here, he is about to go a lap down to the pack. Phil Amsden about halfway down the backstretch. You can see him on your screen right now, but
what do you mean? No, he's fine. He's in the 27. He's right behind Roger Shelton.
Oh, that's Johnny Mahal.
Yeah, you're looking at Mahalchek. Amsden's doing great. He's having the time of his life in there.
Looking at the lap times, and your leader, Shane Paul, ran a 50.05 last time by. You want to know what Johnny Mahalchek ran last time by?
Shoot.
56.3.
56.3. That just shows you the draft effect here at this track. I mean, oh boy. Oh my God. Well, I can't imagine Mahalchek has clean underwear after that one. That was really close. 4 wide on the top.
I think Randy Brash had more of a oh no moment going by, as we see Nick Godsey get in front of Randy Brashers on the high side. Looks like if this high line can we're going to have 3 by 3 by 3 by 3 here at Talladega.
That would be kind of cool to see. It would be pretty reminiscent of what we do see at Dega mostly, which is a lot of four wide racing. I mean, not a lot, but a decent amount of four wide racing. Looks majestic. Unfortunately, it's all about saving fuel there. That's not fast to run 4 lanes, so as soon as someone
Well,
breaks away, they go right back into 2.
and if you're new to NASCAR, a little shameless plug, I guess, but I write for FrontStretch.com, which is a NASCAR website, racing motorsports website. I am our
Wait, hold
feature
on.
writer.
You write for Front Stretch now?
I do.
When did you
It's
get
a little
that gig?
I had it since February. It's a little part-time thing I'm doing. I
Oh.
write their NASCAR 101 articles, so it's much more for the new fans and explaining. And I had this great article about the Talladega fuel savings. You know, they flip stage 1 to 94 laps, so stage 1 is your longest stage this weekend, and then stages 2 and 3 are 45 laps, so they're exactly a fuel run long, so there will be no fuel saving towards the end of the race, albeit it will be artificial because it's the stage racing. But hopefully, the last 45 laps of the race or so, we get actual racing to the end, and it should be exciting. Speaking of exciting, Neil Meadows up 16 spots from where he started riding in P4. He's having a great day so far. Phil Amsden up 10 spots so far, up 11, excuse me, it just updated. So he's having a great day. But Jose Torino, DNF 17th place, he fell 10 spots from where he started on that lap 8 crash. So unfortunately, a really bad day for him.
Very unfortunate, but that's the way the Talladega goes. The track will giveth, the track will taketh away. Ultimately, the only way to ensure a victory is to survive and be there at the end. Sadly, that's just the reality of the situation here.
Hugh Brown almost got into Roger Shelton in turn 1. That could have been a huge accident. Luckily, they got separation.
Now they're racing funny. Now we got a forward pack on the bottom in one lane, and we have a back pack in the high lane, just all in line. There's no real crazy racing right now, and looks like we're kind of gonna just settle in here.
Looking at down the field, I was looking at Hugh Brown's bumper.
Or not. Or
Try
Brashears
to-
is gonna go middle, and we're back to racing. A few lanes now.
See, and this is the track position battle I was talking about in pre-race. You know, the draft is the great equalizer here at Talladega, but the thing with these next-gen cars is you want to have track position at all times. Shane Paul continuing to lead this field, working lap 24, as we see Isaac Treese go down to the bottom there. But certainly, when you get back in the pack, it is just a dogfight to get all the way back up to the front. And Randy Brashears, doing everything he possibly can to get back up the front. He's now second car, P2 in the outside lane. Hugh Brown decides to go high.
I think he's just going to the back here. He can see he can kind of feel the energy picking up here a little bit. Maybe that's why he decided to go up, or he just got out of line. Now he's going to have to work his way up front. I never like getting out of line because it's just such a pain to get your way up front, and then you're risking getting wrecked more and more. It's better if you could just stay in 3 to 6 on the bottom lane. That gives you a lot more room for air. So that's my preferred running lane. And I will do a Talladega race probably tomorrow. So I will be able to test my theory. I mean, it won me a Daytona 500 NIS. So how can it fail me at Dega, right?
See, I don't have the NIS success that you have. I'm more of an IndyCar guy, and I'm trying to put Long Beach behind me as I quickly am now turning my eyes to Indianapolis for the month of May. We have the GP of Indianapolis coming up, and then in the middle of May, we have the Indy 500 on iRacing. Obviously, in real life, it's Memorial Day weekend, so it's a big month for me. And to anyone else who does iRacing in May, it's also the 24 hours of the Nordschleife on May 1st. So to all those competing in the 24 hours of the Nürburgring, have fun, enjoy it. It's going to be a really tough 24 hours around the Nordschleife.
Man, I would love to actually go to a 24-hour race. Daytona. I'd love to do Daytona. Just go to the Rolex 24. That would be fun to go to. Honestly, any Australian supercar race I would love to go to. That sounds like an absolute barrel of laughs. I mean, I've seen highlights. It's just intense racing.
Randy Brashear is your new leader, taking the lead from Shane Paul. Alan Duggar in tow with Brickley in P3 on that high line. That high line is starting to come in. Is there any race that you have you been to races before?
Me? Yes.
Do you remember, what was your first race you ever went to?
The first, well, define like race, like racing series race, or does Monster Jam count in this? Because it technically did race.
See, I'm going to break your heart if I tell you what I know about Monster Jam.
Is it scripted?
It is scripted.
Figured. No wonder Max D wins all those championships.
Now, I will say the racing is scripted. The freestyle is not. As Johnny Mahalchek, according to my telemetry here, has got a meatball flag.
Why?
I have no idea.
Interesting. Well,
but he's going into turn 3 right now. He's about 10 car lengths in front of the leaders right now.
He might have blown a tire. I think he blew a tire. Or he just hit the wall brutally and just destroyed his toe link. Who knows? Okay, so the racing is great. Okay, so then my first real race that I went to, and we're talking car racing here.
Yes.
NASCAR at Sonoma in 2018.
All right. Snowball Derby 2013.
If you want to go, if you want to include all types of racing, the first the first race that I really attended was the America's Cup in San Francisco,
okay.
Which was one of the most fun experiences I've ever had. When the U.S. came back all the way from I think 7-0 and then won 8-7, I think that's how it went. Oh man, that was fun. We had a backup skipper and everything.
Sorry, my first race, I lied. I went to the first ever Atlanta night race.
Really?
Casey Kane won that race.
Oh my God, Casey Kane.
And my second NASCAR race I ever went to was the last race on the old Daytona surface. Kevin Harvick won that night.
That was the last NASCAR race you went to?
The last one I went to was the Coke Zero Sugar 400 at Daytona. It was the year Austin Dillon won it.
So that was 23? No, that was 22.
Yes.
Because 23, it was Chris Buescher. 24 was Harrison Burton. 25, it was, I want to say, Chase Briscoe?
Correct.
Okay, it was Briscoe. Got it. And
So
we
it
don't
was
know
the race
26 yet.
It rain delayed. And by the way, I was at the Coke Zero Sugar 400. You could not buy a Coke Zero Sugar at all in the grandstands.
That's hilarious. Why not?
I don't know, but it got rained out. Then it got moved to the morning on Sunday, so it got moved to noon at Sunday. And everyone's just baking in the Florida heat, and they ran out of water, and all they had was beer and lemonade.
Well, it could be worse. They could have no beer or lemonade and just water.
Brother, you're from out west. As a Florida boy, let me tell you, heat and humidity in the middle of August in Daytona is the closest thing that you could probably get to being in a rainforest.
You know where I live, right? I live in the desert.
Yeah, but that's a dry heat, my friend.
125 degrees of dry heat is still brutal.
Yeah, but
you're
the
still
air is
baking.
You're
you're still baking though. It's like being your situation is like being in an oven or a microwave, where it's humid. Mine is like being in an air fryer or on like a grill.
I
It's
think they
just
both
dry
improve
and it's horrendous. I would rather be in a hot, humid area. Oh, they're getting close there. I would rather be in a hot, humid area than be in a dry area, because at least in a humid area, the air would be thick and I could breathe because of my allergies.
You know, it's interesting because like you would think that I live in Florida and I would be miserable right now. It's, we're approaching May very quickly. The highest temperature we've recorded all year so far, 83,
That's not bad.
with relatively no humidity. It has
Wow.
been amazing on the Gulf Coast. And if you ever come to Pensacola and if you ever have the chance to go to the Snowball Derby, please, if you ever do, say hi. I cover that event every year. And it should be a fun another Snowball Derby as we're working lap 34, or 35, 34 laps complete. Randy Brasher's up at front. Alan Duggar, we said this all year, he's up in the front in P2. Billy Brickley, P3. Nick Godsey, Shane Parrish rounding out your top 5. We have
Chris
two
Webb's
DNFs
made an appearance in P6 here.
up 11
been quiet
spots
all
where
day.
he started.
Not as
Shane
risky
Parrish-
as he was at Daytona. He is well within the range of being cautious. He's being pretty cautious today. He's just kind of sitting there, biding his time, waiting for the final few laps. As long as he doesn't get caught up in any wrecks, he should be fine. Ed Ryan steps out, and he'll
he gets back
file
in
right
line.
back in. We're right
And
now
out.
approaching the time of fuel saving, where everyone's just, there's no point in running for position. You're just going to waste fuel. Everyone is just going to just get into single file and just run this race, run a train basically. And yeah, there's just not going to be much racing to talk about.
Well,
And as a
unfor- I mean,
broadcaster, this is where we struggle as broadcasters, is calling this kind of race.
Well, we turn into baseball broadcasters pretty much. We start, talking about the weather and all these things. I mean, I will say about this race right now, we've been green for about the past, I don't know, everyone pit on the lap
24 laps? 25?
24
26?
laps.
Something like that?
Roger Shelton, Neil Meadows have not pitted yet, and we're quickly approaching. We're about 10 laps away from their fuel window opening. 45 to lap 50 is when they should be on pit road. They're going to be behind the 8 ball, but I will say with them pitting this late, if they can save just a little bit of fuel, they can make it on to the end, barring a caution. But knowing this is iRacing and these aren't the best drivers in the world, we might see a caution.
Tell that to the Duggar clan.
I mean, we're not professionals by any means, but, we try.
Yeah, we certainly do. I mean, but no, yeah. I mean, just again, we're single file right now. There's really just not much to talk about racing wise.
I mean, we could talk about my Orioles are beating the Red Sox 9-3, bottom of the 7th right now. That's pretty good. MLB, your Giants are.
We play the Marlins. Today. It's going to be at 7:15 my time, so that'll be at 10:15 Eastern time. So if you're on the East Coast and you have work tomorrow, which you probably don't, you're probably not going to be able to watch it. But
Are you an NHL fan by any chance?
yeah, but
It's Stanley Cup playoff time, and the Lightning Canadiens are the only game on right now. It's 2-2 in the third period.
yeah, but the dang Sharks didn't make it.
I'm sorry, buddy. In the NBA, you have the NBA Finals, NBA playoffs going on. The
Oh yeah.
Celtics are currently up by 7 with 5:24 left in the fourth.
Guess who's going to the game on Monday in Phoenix? Game 4.
I'm assuming it's you.
Yep, correct. I'm going to Game 4 in Phoenix to watch my OKC Thunder put B to A on the Phoenix Suns. Sorry, Isaac Treese.
I
Not sorry at all. We're winning the chip this year again, back to back.
SGA really doing some doing well for you. He's probably one of the best players in the NBA right now.
He's gonna win the MVP again, back to back MVPs.
Was a Virginia Tech Hokie, so I will say that makes me happy that a good player has come from my college. As you know, we didn't talk about this last Friday because, spring games in college football are going on right now, and that's a very exciting time. Fall is quickly approaching. And did you see what happened at Virginia Tech's spring game on Saturday?
I did not see. I'm not a huge college football guy. I don't
Well,
watch. I don't watch football in general. I know that's blasphemy to everyone in America, but it's just not my sport.
Well, I just watched my team, and they had some skydivers do the American flag as we see some cars pitting off pit road. Neil Meadows coming to pit road. Roger Shelton coming to pit road. And unfortunately, Roger Shelton gets a black flag.
Shelton got a black flag? Wow.
Speeding on pit road, speeding, entering pit road. That is not what he wanted to see. We knew that they were going to be pitting soon. We did not know how much they were going to be pitting. Looks like Neil Meadows missed pit road. He's slow. He's coming out of turn 2 now, but Roger Shelton made his pit stop, and he has a black flag.
About the most uncoordinated pit stop you could have had for those Tint Solutions boys. And speaking of Tint Solutions, Roger Shelton owns the company. They're based out of Greenville, South Carolina. So if you're ever in the area and need some window tint, please hit up Roger Shelton. Big sponsor of this league and a member of the racing, member of the league as well, as he unfortunately has the black flag, but as long as we get screen time to talk about his business, I'm sure he doesn't mind too much.
Bill Amston also coming to pit road. He will not get a black flag, but we're working lap 42, 41 complete. All these leaders that you see from 1st through 11th or so, what you see on your screen right now, they have pitted on lap 8 for fuel, and we are quickly approaching a pit window in about 10 laps or so here. Who will go with each other? Who doesn't go with each other? You got to think Randy Brasher's, Alan Duggar, and matching paint schemes tonight, almost similar paint schemes tonight, are going to be pitting with each other. You got to think Godsey and Chris Webb and Shane Paul, maybe Gus Otero have a plan as well. So it's going to be interesting to see who goes with who when we come to green flag stops here at Talladega.
Yeah, Fallon, I'm not a huge football fan. I mean, I like football. I just don't I don't spend as much time trying to understand it as I do racing or basketball or baseball. But I am a Seahawks fan because of Marshawn Lynch, and so to see them win Super Bowl this year was pretty cool. Not a barn burner because I'm not the biggest fan of football, but I'd rather see my Thunder or my Giants or my Sharks or even Brad Keselowski win a championship. But
hey, you got your championship. As a Denny Hamlin fan, I don't have my championship yet.
Yep, and I don't think you will, unfortunately. I mean, this is the last season, and Tyler Reddick is actually, he might get a championship this year just as an owner.
Actually, Denny Hamlin said next year is his last year.
Oh, really? Next year is his last year? Oh, man, it's gonna feel different without Denny Hamlin.
It's gonna feel different. I mean, it's the natural cycle. I'm 31, and we see drivers who we grew up with. Kevin Harvick, who we all grew up watching. Dale Jr. We all grew up watching. Tony Stewart, Dale Jr. They move on. That you have the next generation as we
got
see.
some pitting. Duggar fakes low, and no one's gonna go. Wow, a nifty move from Alan Duggar.
I don't think I've
to
ever
go on
seen
pit road. Yeah,
faking
that was
a pit stop at Talladega before.
I wouldn't dare do that. I might lose control of the car. That was intense.
I think that really hurt Ed Ryan a little bit. I think he got caught up in everyone faking low. That hurt. That he lost a couple positions on the racetrack. Now going back to P9, Unfortunately, that won't help him. But I mean, if you're Ed Ryan right now, or if you're anyone on this outside line, if you're coming, you got to be on the bottom line. It looks like Shane Paul's not coming. Ed Ryan is not coming. Looks like Hugh Brown is not coming. But could we see another fake out this time by?
No, nothing. We're staying out another lap.
Interesting. 45 laps complete. We're halfway in this race here at the virtual Talladega Super Speedway. We've only had one caution, 2 people DNF so far, unfortunately. Looking at my timing and scoring, looks like Phil Amsden and Johnny Mahalchek are paired up together.
Yeah, I mean, just... Huh. Hugh Brown in the back, Gus Otero. Oh, field spread now. We would see it here. It's funny. This who's gonna pit has been more intense than the actual racing, I would say, except for that Jose Torino flip.
You're
doing his best, doing his best impersonation of Ryan Preece.
You're definitely in your pit window right now. If you come, you have enough fuel to make it to the end if we finish under green flag conditions, and that's the important qualifier to what I just said, under green flag conditions. If we have a green-white checker, you're going to see these guys come in again for fuel. So that is going to be what these guys are gambling on. You're not going to see 4-tire stops. This like a endurance race, you usually double stint tires. You can run tires as long as you want here.
I think you will see. I think you will see 4-tire stops. The way that the fueling works is that if you're that low on fuel, you have enough time to take tires. You're not going to lose anything by taking 4 fresh tires. 4 fresh. What do we decide? Pirelli tires. While you're getting full of fresh Valero fuel. So I do think everyone's going to take 4 tires here.
Yeah. By the way,
the chat's getting weird, folks. Christian Coe says, no, I'll go back a little more. Brandon Sanders, Dana Webb said, that's good. I don't like it when you stress, because Brandon Sanders said his job was easy tonight. Dana Webb said...
Oh, we have people coming down Pete Road.
Otero's on the wall.
That's Otero.
Is that going to bring out a caution? I don't think it will.
Does not.
We're still green. We are still green. Oh, Gus Otero spins out again. Oh, no. And that's not going to bring out a caution either, as the majority of the field comes to pit road here.
No one has black flags. Everyone made it down to pit road speed, 55 miles an hour here at Talladega. Everyone's on the lead lap. So for everyone except Gus Otero, he's going to have great stops, as we're seeing a lot of guys take 4 tires, making the call to take some fresh tires that may become an advantage. Gus Otero slides in his pit box again.
What a moment. Shane Parrish is going to lead the field off of pit road, and he'll be in first place.
Yeah, but there's such a huge gap between Shane Parrish and Ed Ryan right now that you got to think the pack is going to get together so quickly that that's going to overtake Shane Parrish, and he'll be dropping positions as we see some lap cars up to steam behind this lead pack.
Here we go. But as I was saying, Brandon Sanders said to Dana, "You are too sweet," and then Dana said, "You make me blush." And then Christian said to drop this little number, "I see you flirting with my mama. Are you my new daddy?"
BSR Racing League, getting people's with moms since 2026. Brandon would try to hit on someone's mom in the racetrack. Gotta say, gotta be honest. Call him Stifler.
And Castellanos hits a high drive into deep right field and is gone.
What was that dude who what's the guy who used to be the Reds broadcaster?
I don't remember, but he did say a
He
pretty
pulled a Kyle Larson.
unsavory word. Oh, it wasn't a Kyle Larson. He didn't say he didn't say that word. He said the other one.
Oh. Yeah.
You know, he prides himself as a man of faith. And Castellanos hits a high drive.
I'm deeply sorry for the actions who I offended as we see Castellanos hit a line drive left field. It's gone, but I'm really sorry, folks.
Nick Markakis takes strike one. Have you seen that one?
Uh-huh.
Oh, my God.
Have you seen the show,
And there's the pizza.
What's that show? It was on IFC. It was the dude who played the bartender in The Simpsons, and he was like a TV show about a baseball broadcaster. He's an alcoholic.
Hank Azaria, and the show is called Brockmire.
I love that show. That
show was great when it was running, and then I think that after like season 3, it just got like muddled all up. Same with Landman. Landman wasn't good after season 2.
I've never seen Landman. Sorry.
Not that good. First 2 seasons were amazing. Third season kind of sucked.
I tried watching Yellowstone, and it feels like it's a show that people who are very opinionated on Facebook seem to love that show. I feel like it's right in their demographic.
Yeah.
My God, this is America.
City people are bad. Lawyers are bad. Country folk and cowboys are good. That's who's the director of that, or who's like the director / producer of that show?
God, I was talking about Taylor Sheridan, who has
every single show that he's ever written has been
he wrote,
like that.
Which is weird because he wrote Sicario.
I don't know what that is.
Sicario was a movie. Emily Blunt, Benicio del Toro.
You had me at Emily Blunt.
It's about the Mexican cartel and their FBI agents trying to stop the Mexican cartel. Oh my God, is it one of the best action movies of all time? But then you're like, oh, I want to hear more about this screenwriter. What else has he wrote? And he's like, oh yeah, I wrote Yellowstone.
I mean, Yellowstone's not a bad show. It's just I feel like it's kind of a rinse and repeat version of a lot of other shows that he's made in the past.
I will say
there's only 2 seasons of Landman, so maybe I'm thinking of like season 2 and 2.5 and beyond. I'm not a fan of it. I think that like you really need just kind of a break from the drama. I mean, if it's constant drama, it just kind of feels like it's overdone. I think that's a lot of pitfalls that a lot of shows have had, like Grey's Anatomy, as we see the 42 and the 72 get a little loose. Shelton and Mahalchek.
Speaking of, honestly, we did not talk about this during the last pit stop, but Gus Otero had a really bad pit stop. Looked like he locked up the rear tires a little bit, got loose. Maybe there's too much brake bias. But you know who we haven't seen? Hugh Brown, who had a very fast car, running inside the top 5 for pretty much the entire day, running inside the top 10. He's now 22 seconds back of the leader. He's like, you're seeing the cars on front going through turns 3 and 4 now. Hugh Brown's middle down the back. So Hugh Brown, another big loser from the last pit cycle.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, he needs a caution to catch up. He's losing time in a hurry. You could see the delta on your screen now. The delta's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger every lap.
Yeah, and the laps are ticking down, and that is at Talladega.
We're over halfway. We're over halfway. We got about 40 laps to go at the line here after they come out of turn 4. Yeah, Grey's Anatomy. It's like Grey's Anatomy is like basically a soap opera.
It's been on too long.
It really like we're on like season 22. I've seen a few episodes, and it's just like doctors and nurses and surgeons sleeping with each other and the drama that comes out of that. I mean, for the first 2 seasons, I bet it's cool. After that, it gets kind of weird. That's just my opinion. You love Grey's Anatomy, and I'm sorry if I offended you, but that's just my opinion on the whole deal.
I was doing some because I was researching it, and there's only 2 people on the show who are from the original season of Grey's Anatomy. And it reminds
Obviously,
me of
Meredith Grey, because she is kind of the lead. It's called Grey's Anatomy. Wouldn't make a lot of sense if she left.
She's gone. She left.
What?
Yeah. She's not there.
Then why is it called Grey's Anatomy?
I don't know, but have you ever heard the philosophy called the ship of Theseus?
We spoke about this last time, yes.
If you remove all the boards on the ship and rebuild it with new boards, it's still the same ship.
Yeah.
That's for the people who don't know. Is Grey's Anatomy still the same Grey's Anatomy?
I don't know. I haven't seen the show. I couldn't tell you. It's probably got the same plot. It's probably the same formula. Fallon says, The Pit on HBO, you're welcome. I'm going to be honest, I watched a little bit of The Pit. Not my favorite. I can see why people like it.
I will say, as a parent who had worked in the medical field and knew people who worked in the ER, my mom did say that The Pit is the most realistic medical drama that she has ever seen.
That's cool. I'm not a huge fan of medical dramas, but I think it's cool that, like, it's really honing in on realism. I mean, from what you're saying. Now, I just want to point something out. Shelton, Mahalchek, and Meadows are running in front of Shane Parrish, but they're not leading the race. As a matter of fact, they're 60 seconds behind the lead, or 50 seconds behind the lead, unfortunately for them. But they're on the lead lap, because they unlapped themselves by passing Shane Parrish. You don't see that too often. You only really see that at super speedways.
But I don't think
these guys won't have to get the lucky dog. They'll just come around and pit.
But unfortunately, they pitted 7 laps behind the lead pack. So obviously they're going
to... we got a wreck. We got a wreck.
Chris Webb around.
Chris Webb.
No caution.
He's a part-time sponsor of this race, by the way. Or not part-time. So he's a full sponsor. My apologies, of the BSR League, and yeah, he's a good guy. Check him out, Chris Webb Racing. We'll go back to the crash, and he just spins off the nose of the 77 of Shane Parrish, ironically running a Webb paint scheme. I don't exactly know what Webb is. I don't think he's sponsored by Chris Webb. He might be. I'm not privy to all this information, but looks like Chris Webb is Chris Webb's done.
Looks like Chris Webb. Chris Webb did not touch anything. He did not hit the wall.
Points, just torn up tires.
If there's a caution, he'll be back in it. Unfortunately, Chris Webb just tried to clear himself from the front of
Shane
Paul. Did not work, but all he needs is a caution. He's back in this. Unfortunately for Hugh Brown, he is the next victim that the lead pack will catch. Hugh Brown coming out of turn 4, the pack going into turn 3 right now. So that's what's going on right now, but obviously we're seeing Shane Parrish dominate pretty much the second half of this race, but there's still a lot of racing to go as we're working 34 laps to go this time by.
34 to go, yeah, or 35 to go rather. But now, yeah, it looks like Shane Parrish back out front. The 3 Tin Solutions boys seem to have gotten out of that front pack, and they go back down a lap. They're gonna try and make their way back up front, I assume. Yeah, Fallon, Good Doctor is it was, for me, when I first started watching it, it was a decent show, but I stopped. I just got bored of it.
He is a surgeon.
Oh, yeah, that was iconic. I didn't see that. I didn't see that episode. I don't really plan on watching. I'm not a huge, what I've been really watching is I've been rewatching all the Avengers movies. Actually, not even the Avengers, Marvel movies in general. I like Marvel. I gotta say, I think that their movies, despite whether or not you like superhero movies, is just objectively great. Yeah, to me, Avengers. I just finished watching the first Doctor Strange movie, Avengers: Infinity War. Now I'm in the middle of Avengers: Endgame, and then I'll watch No Way Home, and then I'll watch Multiverse of Madness.
I have really given up on the Marvel Cinematic Universe the past couple of movies, but I am excited that we get a new Spider-Man movie this year. I'll tune into the Avengers movie later this year, just because it's an Avengers movie, and I'm interested to see what they do. But you know, you got to get on board with that DC universe, baby.
No way. No, DC is
Yeah,
objectively inferior. I'm sorry. They make better TV shows, but they will never ever eclipse Marvel in terms of like movies and cinematic product.
Batman was good.
Look, I'm not saying that their movies are bad, but Marvel's just the characters I feel like are more well written and they're more well acted in the MCU. That and I know a lot of Marvel lore.
Trying to clear himself in front of Shane Paul, trying to clear himself in front of Phil Amston, got into him just a little bit.
Christian Coe says, my problem with Grays is that it stopped being about patients and medical stuff and only drama with the doctors. Yeah, that's kind of how it goes. I mean, I just can't watch those kinds of shows. I mean, I used to... Yeah, honestly, it's just... shows like that, they're just not my favorite.
You know what they said was the most accurate medical show before the pit?
What?
Scrubs. You're not going to believe it, but according to some medical professionals, I was reading an article, Scrubs and the Pit get medical drama right. Even though Scrubs is a comedy.
Scrubs is a comedy. I've never seen Scrubs or even heard of it before you mentioned it just now.
You should. It's fun. It's a great watch. It makes you feel good. There are 30-minute episodes. It's not bad. You should definitely watch it.
I think I will. I think I'll give it a shot.
Gus Otero just set the fastest lap of the race.
Oh, good for him. I mean, coming back after 2 spins and a terrible pit stop, he is now out front. He is a lap down right now, but he's going to slide. He's got a nose ahead of Parrish. He might be able to get in front of Shane Parrish and get back on the lead lap. Hopefully he gets a caution.
Yeah, I mean, he still is the first car 1 lap down. Unfortunately, Chris Webb is quickly approaching the pack, and they'll be racing. There's a race within a race. There's a race for the lead and a race to be the first car 1 lap down.
Yeah, but unless he is able to stick his bumper on Otero, I think Otero's in good hands.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like Chris Webb's the type of guy who will just put himself in front of the pack and ruin these races for these guys. He's going to stay high, let the pack go into the inside, and he'll drop to the back of the pack, which means Gus Otero, that's one less guy he has to fight for the rest of the day, as he is now in front of Shane Parrish, really in control of his destiny. He's just hoping for a caution that would not have him pit under green. If he does that, his day is over, because he will go 1 lap down.
Or is he 2 laps down? Because it still says he's 1 lap down behind Webb. I think he's 2 laps down. Oh, couple cars on the apron. What happened there?
Isaac Treat gets forced below the yellow line. Hugh Brown. It's very important at Talladega, Daytona. We don't talk about this a lot, but passing underneath the double yellow lines is illegal. That is technically out of bounds in iRacing. So luckily for Isaac Treese, I do not see... Oh, as Hugh Brown gets in the wall, coming out of 2. Brady Brasher is jockeying for position. Ed Ryan basically making his car 2 rows wide.
Too wide coming down into the tri-oval.
As we're now under 30 laps to go here, 28 across the line this time by. Certainly getting more exciting. The thing what we're going to see here is as the laps start trickling down, the intensity meter goes up, and who brings that intensity first is probably going to win this race, and who can survive the next couple of laps as we're seeing these
Shane
cars
Parrish
just
getting a little squirrely.
all the way down the backstretch.
Hugh Brown's going to take it out front, but he is a lap down. Or now he's not. Now he's in front of Gus Otero. Honestly, not a bad position for a lot of these guys to be in. You can see Phil Amsden and Chris Webb struggling on that outside lane. Those are the only two cars out there. 28 laps left in this race. You know, if you had ever told me that we would be talking about baseball and sports and racing and all that other stuff while during this broadcast, I wouldn't have told you I was surprised. But doctor shows and other types of TV shows and movies, that's a little different for a broadcast, I won't lie. What do you think, Colin?
I never really heard broadcasters talk about favorite TV shows. I will say Lost is a pretty good one, too. That's a special one from my childhood.
Hawaii Five-0 is the main thing from my childhood. And we see a few cars coming into pit road here. Believe Chris Webb.
Meadows, Johnny Mahalchek coming down as well. Those three sort of been working together pretty much since we last saw these cars on pit road. Luckily for Shelton Meadows, I mean, they're a lap down or so, but all they really need is a caution and maybe take the wave around, and they'll be good to go, hopefully. But 25 laps to go, you're certainly hoping and praying. You hate to think that this runs. I mean, you'd want this to run to the green. Obviously, you want a race to finish organically, but with how aggressive these drivers have been at some times during the night tonight, you got to think we're going to get more than one caution tonight, right?
Yeah, I think we will. Especially when the energy in the pack picks up. Once they start going too wide again, I think we might see a caution or two. Although they have been racing really clean up to this point. Shane Paul now leading in front of Shane Parrish. We come to 25 to go. Christian says, "Love Lost. From is a great show. It's horror if you like horror." I'm not a huge horror fan. More of a comedy action guy. I like a lot of that.
So you would love Scrubs.
Huh?
You would love Scrubs. You would love Scrubs.
Okay.
If you like comedy. There's comedy, there's drama. I mean, if when it hits hard. But I mean, like I would say, the heavy moments with comedy. I mean, you will notice. I mean, if you are any tuned into pop culture, as we see Phil Amsden making his way to pit road, the most heartbreaking episode involves Brendan Fraser of all people. He makes a guest appearance.
Brendan Fraser, wow.
Yeah, a lot of people from the early 2000s that you think are really big celebrities at the time make guest appearances in it. I mean, Elizabeth Banks was in it at one point. Who else was in? Scrubs. God, there's a lot of great guest stars in Scrubs. Ryan Reynolds was in it. Michael J. Fox, Matthew Perry. Shout out R.I.P. to
Rest in peace, Matthew Perry. I loved Friends. Friends is one of my favorite TV shows.
Elizabeth Banks, Colin Farrell, Heather Graham, Jason Bateman.
Are you a Friends fan, perchance?
I do like Friends. Tara Reid was in it.
Tara Reid, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of stars. Have you seen Casino?
No, I have not.
Oh, I heard it's a good movie. I haven't seen it yet.
Juliana Margulies was in it. By the way, when I tell you an actress's name and they're like, oh, she's hot, that's the love interest for the main character, pretty much. It's like How I Met Your Mother, just a revolving door of like really hot lead actress guest stars.
How I Met Your Mother was a great show.
The ending I thought was a little bit meh.
Ending sucked, but the whole show was great.
Now, when you watch Scrubs, if you watch seasons, because there's 9 seasons in the original run, stop at season 8 and you'll be happy. If you continue to season 9, you won't be happy. But
what about Suits?
I've liked Suits. It's not bad.
I think it's a great show until season 7.
I mean, the point about Suits is that like Mike was lying about his being a lawyer the whole time, and then when he finally became a lawyer, sorry spoilers, but it's been out for 10 years. Get over it. Once he became a lawyer, it kind of like, I don't know, the story should have just ended.
I disagree. I think there could have been a lot more to the story, but again, I won't spoil anything. But season 7 is just where after season 7, it's just where it gets crap.
This time by Elliott, I think we've gotten through the dog stretch of this race. We are now working 20 laps to go this time by. Fuel is probably not an issue for most of these drivers. I mean, unless we get a caution, and it will be. If we go green, I think we'll be fine. But now the time is to start making your way to the front. If you're Nick Godsey, if you're Isaac Treese, if you're Hugh Brown, this is your time to start making your way to the front.
I agree with that, as we saw Otero and Brown get way out front. Now they've come back to the pack. Could we see Shane Paul winning his first race today? He's been out front a long time. He tends to run out front in short, inconsistent bursts, but when he has speed, he is up there, and he's really, really fast.
Qualified P2, pretty much been inside the top 5 all night. Billy Brickley, your pole sitter, currently P3. But you know, I got to think to myself, if you're anyone in this team, and we have not really talked about these 2 drivers today, and the chat is going to get very happy that I'm talking about them. Randy Brashers and Alan Duggar have been working very well together, currently being separated by Ed Ryan. But if those 2 get together, I think one of those 2 drivers, whoever's in front, whoever agrees to push who, I think they have the best chance of winning. I like that pairing right now as we work under 20 to go.
I can agree with that. I think you can't count out Isaac Treese ever. He's always up front, always has a nose in no matter what type of track it is. He's great at all of them. And we have pit stops now. Shane Paul, Ed Ryan, Hugh Brown.
Gus Otero.
Oh, no, it's not It is Ed Ryan. And Gus Otero are all going to pit now on this lap. Shane Parrish will retain the lead with Randy Brashears and Alan Duggar in a four-car pack. I'd imagine they pit together this time by.
1 Ford, 1 Chevy, 2 Toyotas lead your top 4 right now as they go back down the Alabama Gang super stretch. Shane Parrish taking his lead. He must have been well rested from hanging time in Aruba. Glad he's back for the rest of the season, hopefully. Hopefully no more vacations, but we'd love to see Shane Parrish back in the front of that very beautiful Hutchinson Motorsports Ford Mustang.
They're not going to pit this time by. Wow. They're going to stay out another lap. I think they're going to try and run it out all the way.
I think the thing was with Shane Paul, Ed Ryan, Chris Webb, and Hugh Brown. I mean, if you're pitting now, you think there's going to be cautions coming later. You don't want to give up track position with the green-white checkers. Chris Webb just ran the fastest lap of the race, 48.952. But if you're Parrish, Brashears, Duggar, Treese, Godsey, you want this race to finish under green, and you basically have made your bed and you're laying it right now. A caution right now would basically throw. I mean, wouldn't really hurt your strategy. We still have a lot of racing left to go, but your plans would get jumbled up. And I think with Duggar and Brashears right now, I think those are the only 2 who can really capitalize with plans changing fast.
I mean, I can agree with that. I think it's hard to bet against Shane Parrish and, of course, Billy Brickley. Heartbreaker last week at Kansas. Couldn't get it done. Dominated the whole race, or was one of the dominators of that race. Now in
Yeah, had
P2 coming into
pit
the
strategy.
closing laps here at Talladega.
Yeah, perfect pit strategy on the call. He came in for his last pit stop of the day, had too much rear brake in it, locked those rears up, and he spun and gave Trevor Baxter the win. I know that was a heartbreaker for Brickley, but for him coming back to Talladega, running inside the top 5 pretty much all day, getting the pole, that certainly puts a really bad showing at Kansas Motor Speedway behind you as we're working 15 laps to go this time by.
Yep, 15 laps to go, coming to the line right now. 15 to go. Here we go. Here it comes, guys. Last 15 laps, it's going to be go time for a lot of these guys. They're just going to, you're going to start feeling the speed pick up. Everyone just kind of looking to where they can find an opening. Not very many cars in this lead pack, so I don't know how it's exactly going to turn out. If it turns out like anything like Daytona, I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, and this lead pack's going to catch up Mahalchek and looks like Phil Amsden here in a minute, and that's going to gain more numbers to this pack, and that's going to, if this pack can stay together and not race, they'll catch Ed Ryan and Shane and Chris Webb and Hugh Brown, and that will certainly put their strategy behind the 8 ball if they go a lap down. So obviously, if you're in this lead pack, you want to keep single file for as long as you possibly can. I would assume with like 8 laps to go, we're going to see the single file go away, and we're going to see double file racing. But with such a small pack, the numbers advantage really goes to whoever line gets to more cars. Obviously, at Talladega, the bottom is your friend. You can't pass below that double yellow line. That is your friend. They have to go the long way around, as we see Shane Parrish take the high side going around some lap cars. And this is going to get interesting.
Yep, here we go. I mean, the Tin Solutions guys are clearly trying to stay out there as much as they can, but they are 2 laps down. I don't think you can come back from that. I think with 14 to go, it's kind of over for you.
Top 4 still single file. Everyone's trying to get around the 2 lap cars of Johnny Mahalchek and Roger Shelton.
Man, I'm wondering when we're gonna start seeing. I think we're gonna see Brashears and Duggar. They're gonna leave their current positions, and they're gonna go up high coming into the closing laps. It is gonna be a bit of an intense moment when we see that happen, I'm sure.
Yeah, but I think for Brashears and Duggar, you need someone to go with you. Does Isaac Treese go with you? Does Nick Godsey go with you? I know there's a relationship between Duggar, Brashears, and Godsey. They've known each other a long time. Do they start working with each other? Does Shane Parrish through a block, as we see Roger Shelton start going to the outside, Mahalchek in tow, and we have, it looks like, who's that in that black and gold car in the back right there? Right behind Mahalchek.
The black and gold, that I think is that's either Meadows or Shelton.
And we saw a group of cars pit a couple laps ago. They are going into turn 1 now. This lead pack is crossing the start-finish line. I'm looking at the lap times between Hugh Brown and Shane Parrish. Brown ran a 49.9. Shane Parrish ran a 49.8. So already this lead pack is a tenth faster than that second pack. We have 11 laps to go. And there's currently a 9-second, almost 10-second delta between the 2 packs. So not enough time to catch that second pack, but obviously as the laps keep ticking down here, that second pack it's going to be harder and harder for them to catch up. They desperately need a caution in order for them to stay in this race.
Yeah, I mean Webb's really hoping for that caution. Hugh Brown, he'll be hoping for another one just so they could get back on that lead lap. Coming to 10 to go here. Shane Parrish leading.
Now the thing is, these lap cars in the back with Roger Shelton, Mahalchek, you got to think they're going to be racing for position too. I mean, they still need points. There's still a championship battle that will be decided at Homestead Miami Speedway at the end of the season. Every point matters to get into the playoffs, so you know they're going to be fighting for every single position. Does the lap cars throw a wrench into the lead lap cars' plans as we quickly line down here at Talladega?
Yep, coming to single digits here in terms of laps. I mean, this is Shane Paul and Ed Ryan. They are right in front of the leaders. About 10-second gap between them. I think that they're also hoping for a caution right about now. That would be really, really good for them, I feel like. And then they could go in, get some fresh rubber, reset, and possibly even race for this win. But they need a caution.
Brickley all over the back bumper of Shane Parrish. Got to think that with these next-gen cars, we see people shove too hard, and that leads to accidents. You got to think that Billy Brickley, you know, he wants that win. He wants to race clean, but, you know, is he going to be aggressive too quickly? He looks like he's backing out in the corners as we come down to 8 laps to go.
Well, we see some takers on pit road. A whole field's or most of the field at least is going to come down. Parrish, Brickley, Duggar, Brashears, Treese, Godsey. Even Chris Webb is going to pit.
Because Shane Paul and Ed Ryan, Hugh Brown, those guys are coming down the middle of the backstretch right now. So how will this lead pack blend into that pack? Will they get on pit road? Will they get off pit road good enough to keep their position to make the second lead pack car, second group of cars not past them coming out of pit road? They're coming out of turn 4 now. But those guys are at full song. It's going to take them about a lap or so to get back up to speed. This is going to be a very interesting pit decision.
This could get intense here really quickly. We can see the delta running down for Paul and Ryan right now.
Shane Paul crosses the start
Paul
line
Ryan,
now.
Former Speaker of the House. Was he Senate Majority Leader? I'm pretty sure Speaker of the House, but
he was Speaker of the House. He was never a senator.
Yeah. Here we go.
Billy Brickley, Parrish get out. There's 2x2. Unfortunately, Brashears and Duggar get separated with Duggar getting the better end of the stick on that deal with Isaac Treese in tow. Fortunately, what happened to Randy Brashears probably slid his pit box had to probably back up a little bit. That must have cost him some time.
Shane Paul and Ed Ryan are making their way up front. They are now in 5th and 6th place, respectively. Billy Brickley now leading the field with 7 laps remaining here. I think we can see a good old tri-oval past Talladega finish here if this goes green.
Remember, the start-finish line is past the tri-oval. You have so much time to make that move. Shane Paul running the fastest lap of the race, 48.8. Almost a tenth and a half faster than Billy Brickley. Actually 11 seconds faster than Billy Brickley that time by, but Brickley was getting up to speed. That second pack led by Shane Paul is coming in a hurry.
Yeah, they're right on the tail of this lead pack. Are they going to take the high side and pass them, or are they just going to fall in line right behind Isaac Treese? I think that's what you have to worry about if you're the front 4, especially if you're Billy Brickley.
Yeah, we'll see the lap times this time by Brickley crossing the line, 50.5. Shane Paul, 49.2. Yeah, that pack is coming in quickly. And they have the numbers to boot. They have about 7 cars in that lead pack. If you're Shane Paul, you got to take the run when you can get it. But the thing is, does Isaac Treese block? Does Alan Duggar block? I mean, who blocks who? And if you do block, you're going to get a huge shove in your rear bumper. And can you control it? We had a race, Elliot, and it took us 6 laps to go to finally get it.
Here we go. Shane Paul going to the outside. Isaac Treese trying to block, but he can't do it. And Shane Paul is going to lead the top pack, and they're going to try and get in front here.
Yeah, but if you're Billy Brickley, you know that high line is coming. Do you jump to the top? Shane Parrish lost his chance to jump to the top. Brickley staying with Parrish on the bottom line as Shane Paul goes to the top. Battle for the lead.
I think if you were Alan Duggar, you made a mistake by not going to the top lane. I mean, that top lane has a run. You could have led the lap, or you could have led the race with 5 to go here. Shane Paul now moving about, trying to stay in front of Ed Ryan and Billy Brickley. Doesn't know exactly which lane he wants to go in. Here we go.
2 by 2, but the bottom lane has the numbers 5 up top, 6 on bottom, 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 with 5 laps to go.
That high line really still has that run, but looks like that bottom lane's now going to get... That bottom lane has been gaining a lot more steam, and we're now deadlocked now.
And unfortunately, we do have another DNF. Chris Webb has DNF'd. Unfortunately, he has not had the day he wanted. Unfortunately for him, as we're still 2 by 2, lockstep in formation. Shane Paul at the top in his Chevrolet. Billy Brickley on the bottom in his Chevrolet as they thunder down the backstretch. 4 to go.
Chevrolet top 3, Paul, Ryan, and Brickley. All out front. Shane Parrish in a Ford in 4th place. Hugh Brown looking like he's going to shove that front lane out in front. Big move there by the number 35 Toyota. Ed Ryan's going to take the bottom lane, split that pack up just a little bit. Oh, is it going to hold? I think it might. Ed Ryan made a really smart move on the bottom, but it looks like Billy Brickley's going to split them 3 wide here, shoving Hugh Brown out of the way. And they all follow Billy Brickley, and Ed Ryan's left out to dry. Pain.
Nick Godsey had a huge run. Now Brickley, Parrish, and Duggar. Your top 3 is Shane Paul's losing momentum on the top. Augusto Otero with him, but everyone is on the bottom.
Everyone's shifting around. Hugh Brown trying to get back out front, get his lap back with 3 to go here. He knows that there could be a caution at any moment.
I would be so surprised if this thing goes green the way these guys are racing. They're taking every run they possibly can get. They're trying, as we see Shane Paul give a huge shove to Hugh Brown coming out of turn 4, coming to the line. 2 laps to go.
2 to go here, man. This is where it gets intense. Now, if you're in the top 3, where do you want to be most of all? Leading, second, or third?
I want to be in second. I want to be in second place. I want to dictate to the leader when he can. I want him to play offense and defense at the same time. If you're Shane Parrish, I think you're in the catbird seat, but don't look too quickly. Shane Paul on the outside got to run down the back.
I think if you're Shane Parrish, you got to go to the outside right now. He's not going to take it. He is not going to take it, and
all over the back bumper of Shane Parrish right now.
Oh boy. Very tight racing here. He's going to get intense at the line. I don't know if we're going to exactly see an overtime finish here. Brickley out front still. Parrish, Duggar in 3rd. Paul in 4th. Top lane's going to get that run back. White flag's out. Here we go. Billy Brickley hasn't won a race at all this season, has been so close so many times. He is leading now on the last lap of Talladega. Shane Paul getting a big run on the outside. He's going to be at his quarter coming into turn 3 on the backstretch.
The thing is,
Paul now ahead. He's going to bump with Brickley. Brickley now gets a run on the bottom.
The thing is,
really tight racing here.
Start-finish line all the way at the end of the tri-oval. Billy Brickley, heartbreaking Kansas last week. He is leading off turn 4, coming to the checkered flag.
Can he get it done now? Can he get it done today? The win for Billy Brickley has eluded him. Parrish going to go on the outside. Side by side, they move. Alan Duggar gets on the bottom. Shane Parrish will win, and a big wreck behind them all. Ooh. Certain death for some of these drivers as they just hammer the wall. And Shane Parrish walks away in a nail-biter of a finish. Billy Brickley again gets the short end of the stick. Alan Duggar coming in 2nd. Shane Paul with his best finish of the season in 3rd place. That was a race. Certainly one of the best finishes we've had all year long. That was intense.
Billy Brickley trying to do everything he possibly could coming to the line. He goes low, defends inside. Shane Parrish gets on his outside, pretty much side drafts him to the line, was able to beat him to the line. What a fantastic win, and Shane Parrish picks up his first win of the season. I guess we all need to go to Aruba more often because he came back well-rested, and he gets to win at Talladega. Congratulations, Shane Parrish.
Big W for him. Coming off the break at Aruba, you can see him burn it down now. Great photo op opportunity for a lot of these guys when they win. I'm honestly impressed with the performance that Shane Paul showed today. He was terrific. Ran in front all day. Was able to finish third. Best finish of the year.
I think that's the first time we've seen Shane Paul actually finish so far this year. He's
It
been
might be the first time he's
caught
finished the
up in
race on the lead
incidents,
lap. But
caught up in incidents that really weren't out of his really were out of his control. Able to come to Talladega where things are definitely not in control and come out with a top three finish. Shout out to Isaac Treese as well, getting a top five. But Randy Brasher's, I think, probably their big loser tonight. Obviously, that pit stop, the last stop of the day, hurt him, got him away from Alan Duggar. But Nick Godsey, congrats to him, I guess. 48.783, your fastest lap of the race.
all right, I think it's about time we bring up our third place finisher for the first time this season, Shane Paul. Shane, it's Colin and Elliot up in the booth. How you doing, man?
Just Dandiful. Yeah, surprise P3 finish. First want to just say sorry to Chris Webb. Um, I was trying to get into the high line early in the race, and I think I may have come up or he may have come down. But I also do want to thank him because I wouldn't be here without him, and all the people back at Webb Industries. And yeah, great performance.
Fantastic P3, man. That's your best finish of the year. I won't say that it's that much of a surprise. I mean, from the way that we've seen you run since you joined the league, you've been up front at various moments. Just that inconsistency has plagued you all year. But you come out with a P3 today. You stayed consistent and great all day long. How does it feel to finally break through and get this great finish?
It feels really good. Um, one more shout out to the Misfits. The lap down cars honestly played a big part in us coming home with this P3. Couldn't really do it without them. With the freight train on the bottom of all the BSR cars there. But yeah, feels good.
Colin, you got anything?
Yeah, Isaac, you had some bad runs earlier
Shane.
this season, but sorry, Shane, my apologies, but you had some bad runs early this season. A lot of things that weren't probably in your control. You come to Talladega where things are out of your control entirely. How's it feel to actually get a good finish this season for the first time this year and probably go into this nice little stretch of different racetracks with some momentum?
I mean, definitely momentum's always good. I'm very good at the out of control racetracks. I find myself at the front generally through different series and try to put myself in the best position and look forward to next week's coming weeks.
Well, that's great news, man. Glad you finished up front today. Hopefully you can make it. You can be back here next week when we go to Texas. Before we go out, before we head out here, is anyone you want to thank?
Again, Chris Webb Industries, the Misfit Gang of lap cars, and that's about it.
All right, great. Uh, Thank you very much, Shane.
Have a good one.
You too. All right, time to bring up Alan Duggar, who finished P2 today. So, shout out to the Duggar clan, who's always watching. Alan, Colin, and Elliot up in the booth. How you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic.
Great P2 today. You're kind of quiet all race long. Really didn't lead. Didn't I don't. Did you lead any laps? Because I don't really think you did.
No, I didn't.
You didn't really lead any laps, but you pull away with a P2 finish on a intense three wide pass there, or intense three wide race in there at the end. How does it feel to get the P2 at such an unpredictable racetrack?
It was pretty good. I'm glad Shane, Shane and them kind of moved up because I was about to blow up there. Um, but it feels good. One could have got him back to my bumper. I might could have nudged Shane out for the win, but P2 not bad. I'll take it.
Colin, you got anything?
Yeah, Alan, you were working with Randy Brashears pretty much all race long, and that last pit stop, it seemed like you two got separated. What happened to Randy, and was that really the defining moment where you think that this race may have slipped away from you?
I'm not sure what happened to Randy on that pit stop, but I don't think it was a defining moment. We was just all working together. Everybody was patient with everybody, so we just all hooked back up and get back to the front. Especially tried to get Randy up there, push his old ass up there. He's getting old and kind of hard to keep that thing straight. Seems more and more like it. Every time I was behind him, like, keep that thing straight, Randy.
You've won a lot of races, Alan. You've finished up front in most of these races. How do you feel? How do you feel about your championship aspirations? Do you think that they are in the? Do you think they're on the horizon here?
I mean, it could be. You never know, especially this early in the season. You don't know what the future's going to hold. So all you can do is look out the front windshield and take it one week at a time.
Awesome, Alan. Before we head out here, is there anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my family for tuning in and watching. I'm still the favorite. I'd like to thank Easy Dealing Wheel and Tires, Eagle Eye Graphics, BSR, everybody coming out play tonight that's in the league. I'd like to thank y'all for broadcasting, Sinai Motorsports, and Boris Bar Ranch. That's it.
All right, awesome job, Alan. Congrats on the P2.
Thank you.
Bye. All right, now let's bring up our first place finisher, Shane Parrish. Shane Parrish, number 66. You're back from Aruba with the win. How's it feel, man? How you doing?
How you doing? Man, yeah, I'm doing great, guys. I just got to put a shout out to all the BSR drivers out there tonight for the really good, clean racing that we had and hard racing we did, and lap cars getting out of the way. Just one hell of a job by everybody out there and the drivers out there for doing what they did. Showed a lot of a lot of progression in the league, so I was really happy about that. But as far as mine, first tally win ever, so never expected to be sitting here. Only ever won Daytona once, so this is one to knock off my list in over 10 years of trying. So I'm really happy to get the win tonight. It was a lot of fun racing up there with everybody.
Shane, it's Colin. I'm so happy that you're back. And I was looking at the point standings before you came in. You fell back down to around third or fourth place in the point standings on your little sabbatical to Aruba. We're so glad you're back. But I will say that you have now moved back into second place in the point standings, about 39 points behind Alan Duggar. It's your second win of the year. This certainly gives you a lot of momentum going into this little weird stretch of the season we have. We have Texas coming up. We have Watkins Glen. We have the All-Star race. And then we have the longest race of the year, the Coke 600 here in Charlotte in a couple weeks. What's your mindset going into this little weird stretch where you have a super speedway, a mile and a half, and then a road course for the first time this season?
Well, the road course, I'm not that great at them. I don't usually run them, but I'm sitting in the points where I'm sitting. Even a 15th place finish is better than a last place finish. So I'm probably going to run that anyway, just to see what I can do. We're coming up on Texas. Look, this I've done some real race car, schools there in Texas. I lived just outside of the speedway. My wife and I had season tickets and went for many years in a row. So this is a track that I love. So I'm going to come here stoked and ready to roll. And 66 is going to be quick next week. And if I don't get wrecked, I'm definitely should be there, hopefully, for a top 5, top 3. Get that lead, hopefully get the points lead. I know Alan's going to miss next week. He's got a concert to go to. So that'll help me a little bit, but kind of would have liked to have done it without that.
Totally understandable, Shane. I mean, you came out swinging today. You went out and you dominated. Congratulations on the win, and congratulations for being back from Aruba. I wish I could have gone to Aruba, but glad to see that you had a lot of fun. Before we head out here, is there anyone you want to thank?
Well, I want to thank Brandon and the entire admin team on BSR and then all the drivers. Thank all those guys for letting me come over. It's been just going to be a great a great time. Long-term relationship is what I'm looking forward to here. Thank you guys up there in the booth. Love going down and watching you, drink a beer or two, hit a Jello shot. Listening to you all, you guys have progressed so well, and you're doing great. So I think that's just awesome. And thank Mars, my company, and my wife for sure for letting me sit up here and do this some weeks hours upon hours and not get mad at me. Her line's always, I know where you're at. You're upstairs, so I don't mind.
Well, thank you, Shane, for the awesome compliments. I'm sure you're going to take this win and celebrate with your wife, man. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys. You guys both have a great rest of the weekend, and have a drink for me.
Will do. See you, Shane.
Thank you.
All right, and with that, that will end the this iteration of the BSR League broadcast. A great finish, great race. We hope you'll join us next week at Texas. I know Alan Duggar won't be here. I do hope that we retain some of the viewership from the Duggar clan who want to watch next week's race. But in the meantime, you guys have a great rest of your week, and goodbye.